Welcome back to Reading Motivational Books. Learning English through storytelling is one of the best ways to improve your language skills. Stories like David's provide context and emotion, making new vocabulary and grammar rules more memorable and engaging. By immersing yourself in real-life scenarios and personal experiences, you not only enhance your understanding of the language but also connect more deeply with how it's used in everyday conversations. This approach helps you practice speaking, listening, and comprehension in a way that's both enjoyable and practical. My day-to-day life. Morning. I'm David, 29 years old. I woke up to the soft chime of my phone alarm at 6:30 a.m. Rubbing my eyes and stretching my arms, I glanced at the window where the first light of dawn was peeking through the curtains. After a few minutes of lying in bed, I finally pushed myself to get up. The bathroom was my first stop, where I brushed my teeth with minty toothpaste. The cool taste waking me up fully, and splashed cold water on my face. For my morning run, I threw on my favorite gray jogging pants and a simple black t-shirt. Heading to the kitchen, I poured myself a glass of orange juice and grabbed a banana for a quick energy boost. As I stepped outside, the cool morning air hit my face, refreshing and invigorating. I started my jog through the quiet neighborhood, the sound of my footsteps echoing in the empty streets. Breakfast. By the time I got back home, it was around 7:30 a.m. I was a bit sweaty but felt energized. After a quick shower, I dressed in my work clothes, a crisp white shirt, navy blue trousers, and my brown leather shoes. I made my way back to the kitchen, this time to make a proper breakfast. I decided to cook scrambled eggs with toast and a side of avocado. I carefully cracked the eggs into a bowl, whisking them with a fork before pouring them into the heated pan. The smell of eggs cooking filled the kitchen, making my stomach rumble. As I buttered the toast, I thought about my plans for the day. I had a meeting with a new client, and I was excited but also a bit nervous. I sat down at the small wooden table by the window, enjoying the warmth of the sun as I ate my breakfast. The eggs were fluffy, and the toast was perfectly crispy. I took my time savoring each bite, washing it down with another glass of orange juice. Work. By 8:30 a.m., I was ready to head to work. I grabbed my laptop bag and keys and walked out the door. My office was about a 15-minute drive away, and I enjoyed the quiet time in the car, listening to my favorite podcast on the way. At the office, I greeted my colleagues with a smile and made my way to my desk. My first task of the day was to prepare for the meeting with a new client, Sarah, who was in her early 30s and running a startup. I reviewed the project details and made sure everything was in order. When she arrived at 10 a.m., we sat down in the conference room. And I walked her through our proposal. She seemed impressed, and by the end of the meeting, I felt a sense of accomplishment. Lunch. Around 12:30 p.m., my stomach started to growl, reminding me it was lunchtime. I decided to order food from my favorite Italian place nearby. I chose a margherita pizza with a side of Caesar salad. While waiting for the food to arrive, I chatted with a colleague, Mike, about the weekend plans. He mentioned a new movie that had just come out, and we agreed to watch it together on Saturday. When the food arrived, I took a break and sat at my desk to eat. The pizza was delicious, with a thin, crispy crust and just the right amount of cheese. I ate slowly, enjoying every bite and thinking about how the rest of the day would go. Afternoon. The afternoon was a mix of work and personal moments. I had a few more meetings, this time with my team to discuss ongoing projects. We worked through some challenges, brainstorming ideas and coming up with solutions. Around 3 p.m., I took a quick break and grabbed a snack from the office kitchen, some mixed nuts and a cup of coffee. The caffeine helped me push through the last stretch of work. At 5 p.m., I wrapped up for the day and headed home. I was looking forward to a relaxing evening, especially since I had plans with my girlfriend, Emma. We've been dating for about a year now, and she's the sweetest person I know. We met at a mutual friend's party, and we've been inseparable ever since. Evening. By the time I got home, it was almost 6 p.m. I quickly changed into more comfortable clothes, a pair of jeans and a soft sweater, and tidied up the living room. Emma was coming over for dinner, and I wanted everything to be perfect. I ordered sushi from our favorite place and set the table with candles and our best plates. When Emma arrived, she greeted me with a warm hug and a kiss on the cheek. She looked beautiful, as always, wearing a simple but elegant dress. We sat down to eat, chatting about our day. She told me about a new project she was working on, and I could see the passion in her eyes as she spoke. I loved listening to her, feeling so proud of everything she was accomplishing. After dinner, we moved to the couch, and she rested her head on my shoulder as we watched a movie. I felt so content just being close to her, and I couldn't imagine my life without her. Night. But the night took a sudden turn. As we were talking, Emma seemed distant, her usual warmth replaced by something colder. When I asked her if everything was okay, she hesitated before telling me that she had met someone else. Her words hit me like a ton of bricks, and I felt my heart drop. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. She said she didn't want to hurt me, but she couldn't lie anymore. I sat there in silence, trying to process what she was saying. I felt a mix of anger, sadness, and disbelief. How could this be happening? We had so many plans, so many dreams. The evening, which had started so perfectly, ended in heartbreak. I walked her to the door, and she left without another word. The apartment felt so empty, so quiet, after she was gone. Weekend. The next day was Saturday, but it didn't feel like a weekend. I stayed in bed longer than usual, not wanting to face the reality of what had happened. Eventually, I got up and decided to distract myself by cleaning the apartment. I threw away the candles from the night before, along with the memories that now felt tainted. My friends tried to cheer me up, inviting me out for drinks, but I wasn't in the mood. I spent the day in a kind of daze, just going through the motions. I ordered takeout for dinner, something quick and easy, because I didn't have the energy to cook. As the weekend continued, I tried to focus on myself, doing things that made me feel better. I went for long walks, spent time reading, and even started a new hobby, painting. It was something I'd always wanted to try, and it helped me express the emotions I was struggling to deal with. But there were still moments when the pain would hit me out of nowhere, and I'd feel lost all over again. I started to question everything, myself, my choices, my future. The world seemed a little darker, and I didn't know how long it would take to feel like myself again. The story continues with the same pattern. If you'd like, I can continue formatting the rest of the story section by section to make it easier to read and grammatically polished. Let me know if you'd like the entire piece polished or specific sections.